Good morning, everybody. You're tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next couple of hours. Along with, guess what? Gal is here as a surprise. Look at you.
Hello, hello.
Gal is here from Israel, so it's gonna be maybe choppy at times or whatever, but it's fine. Wow, look at that. And
no, Spence, no.
Yeah, and Spence is here too.
No, I'm not.
It's not Miami Beach.
Yeah, Spence is here from the International Space Station. As you
I
can
have
tell.
to keep myself tethered because otherwise I'll float out of my chair.
Nick is in Greenville at the North Carolina GOP convention. He's got to cover that with his job.
What a good way to go. It's a good job assignment.
Yep. Our number is 919-518-9773, Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And today's show is made possible by vMix Software, by DudeInIT.com, and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. Yeah, so you're having fun in Israel. Oh, I did. I see. Looks like Gal kind of dropped. Oh, no, there he is.
Yes, mostly seeing family.
And how what do you see after all this? What was it? About 10-day war, whatever? Not war, a conflict.
Well, this is like old news now.
Yeah. Do you see any leftovers of it? I mean, do you see more?
I mean, nothing happened here in Netanya. Netanya is north from Tel Aviv, so any destruction that wasn't here. So I don't see anything like this.
Okay. No.
I mean, the street is all torn up, but that's because of a tractor doing road work. It's not.
They're pulling fiber. Huh?
Yeah. I don't know how to explain this to non-Israelis because we're pretty used to things being crazy around here, but this one is literally like a very distant memory already because it happened in the middle of an election process. So the election were cast about a month before that or 3 weeks before that, something like that, and this is now actually more. I'm messing up the timeline, but don't hold me to that. And the government hasn't been formed yet, so this is like a temporary government. And there's an honorary title around here called president. It's not like the president of the United States. It has
it's a ceremonial.
It's a ceremonial president, and a new president was elected. And so the political landscape is so rocky that this was a blip. I'm sure for the people who got hurt and it affected them, it is really, really intense. But on the media, on the talk, on the stuff like that, things have died down a bit around the fighting. around the military aspect of it. So yeah, so I can't say that we feel that. As for coronavirus, very similar to North Carolina, limitations have been lifted in open spaces, closed spaces. You're still required to wear a mask, but people don't really follow that. So, and but still only Israeli citizens are allowed to come into the country, and you must go through a coronavirus test, a PCR test, before the flight and after the flight. And if you have been vaccinated outside of the state of Israel, then you need to go through a process of proving that, which requires another test. But it's we didn't need to stay in quarantine too much.
Mm-hmm.
It was once we showed the vaccination records and got the test done.
Nice.
So yeah.
Nice.
So
it's a lot
we
more
got
relaxed.
to visit the family. Yeah. And next this week, we're going down to Eilat. So we'll have we'll stay the weekend there on in a hotel like Myrtle Beach style. So yeah, that will look a lot more like Miami Beach.
He thought it was what did he think it was when he saw the yeah, he did say that. That's right.
Yeah, he said Miami Beach.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Florida Keys.
Huh. Well, nice. When are you leaving there?
Next week, Monday.
Oh.
Monday.
Wow.
Yeah. And then back to routine.
Back to the routine, which is fine.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, routine is still exists. All right, so I wanted to bring something up here that actually affected me in a nice way.
It's going to affect the show, man.
It's what?
It's going to affect the show.
I don't think so. No. If anything,
yeah, it's going to be 4K, no?
Yeah.
So I was talking about the fact that Google Fiber and AT&T pulled fiber about a month or two ago. And the word was that it takes normally 6 months for them to light it up and connect people. Well, last Thursday, I got a notice from AT&T that my bill is available, and I went to look at it, and it was about $58. Normally, it's $50. I said, "Oh, what's going on?" So I was looking in it, and it said that the promotion has ended. Oh, okay. So I called them and I said, they're gonna drop it again. They're gonna find something. They always did. So I called in, and the person said, "Well, there's really not much we can do with this plan. But what we can do for you," I said, so I explained. I said, "Look, I need the cheapest thing because I'm using it only as a backup." And he said, "Well, the cheapest thing we can give you this time is the 500 by 500. And I kind of like chuckled and I said, "Yeah, and how much is that?" And he said, "It's going to be $45 for a year."
Is that auto pay? 45?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I said, "Sounds nice. What is it going to be afterwards?" He said, "Well, the regular charge is $65, but you call us in a year and we'll find another promotion. I mean, I can see on your record that you do that every year." I said, "Okay. So what about the 300? I know you have 300." And he goes, That's going to be $65.
More.
I said, are you telling me that 300 by 300 is going to be more expensive than 500 by 500? He said, yeah, don't ask me why, but that's what's available to you.
That's to convince people not to use 300 anymore.
I guess. So, I mean, this was a no-brainer. I said, yeah, go ahead and convert. I said, are they going to need to run a new cable to the house? Because we don't have fiber to the house. So he said, wait a second. And he went and found out. He said, no, just a new cable from the modem. We have to send you a new modem, and from the modem to the wall. I said, there is no wall connection. This cable from the modem goes directly into your box outside the house, and it's Cat 6. And he said, it'll probably stay the same. Okay. I said, even if they need to, it's fine. So fine. Friday morning, we're sitting outside drinking coffee, and I'm checking my email that just came in, and there are 4 messages from Google Fiber. Your wait is over. Because I registered throughout, I don't know, the last 2, 3, 4 years, whenever they started, when they announced that Raleigh is, I registered to be notified. And apparently they just add you. They don't check if you're already registered. So I got 4 of them. And I went and checked on it. And I can get 1 gig for $70 and 2 gig for $100. But gosh, 2 gig, forget. So I figured, okay, that's good, because now I can call Spectrum, which I'm paying $85, $84.95 for 400 by 20. And I can tell Spectrum, I need a different plan. I don't care if you drop my speed to 200, but it's going to have to be about half of what I'm paying you now, or less, and see what they're going to say. Because I figured, even if I drop Spectrum altogether and go with Google Fiber, I still pay Google Fiber less. So anyway, I look at it, by going to 500 by 500 and going to 1 gig with Google, I'm saving money. This is really ridiculous. It just shows how they take advantage of us. So I'll keep you I'll keep you in the loop next week to see what transpired. But this is going to be interesting to see how Spectrum react. Yesterday, I got a bunch of emails from Spectrum. Mail. Oh, you need to add TV. It's only $49 and blah, blah, blah. And I mean, they're trying. I want to see what they're going to try, how they're going to try to keep me with them. Because now I can use AT&T, which I was using as a backup, as my primary. And half a gig is more than enough. Way more than enough.
But how many people out there are going to think I have to have it because it's more?
Well,
even though that makes no difference.
I understand. But I'm looking right now. I'm looking at me.
Those commercials they have right now are very effective with the people doing video conferencing. And there's an interruption in the first. It was the one about the Lord of the Rings, and now it's the one about the baby being previewed. Have you seen these commercials yet?
No, but I mean they have creative ways.
They want to scare everybody. Oh, when you're looking at your sister's new baby and the video freezes and you're going like this on the screen, like, and then the sister thinks she's being snubbed. Well, I can't make you happy with anything.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I remember that one.
That's their tactics now.
Yes,
scare tactics.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you think about the content, it's like, are you serious?
Yeah.
But one thing I can tell you from my experience. So I got on the Google Fiber bandwagon about 2 years now,
right?
and I got in on 100 meg symmetric.
Right.
That was their cheapest. I wanted the cheapest for. I have only 1.9, but I knew I didn't need more than 100.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that they're losing money on 100. So they've been bugging me and bugging me and bugging me since then to upgrade to their jig, 1 gig, which was their like large like the premium program, which I don't want, and it's not like that expensive or anything, but about a year after the installation, they did sort of force me into the 500 plan and raised my fees by $5, and that's their lowest offering. But that's because they just went away with their 100 megabits offering, and at first I thought I'm going to be angry about it, but then I just calmly looked at the math. Nobody's offering anything lower. They're probably losing enough offering something that low on hardware that is much more capable, right? And so eventually I said, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
They're still the best offering in our area. So
right. I mean, it's that shows that they're trying to innovate.
They're trying a different approach
to get rid of the old technology,
yeah.
and they keeping you. I mean, for $5 more,
Yeah.
I mean, if AT&T said, we can upgrade you to 500, and it's going to be $5 more, I also would say, yeah, that's fine. But they actually dropped by $5. Maybe they knew that I have Google also. I mean, these guys.
Oh, they know.
Keep.
You're getting the offer. Your offer is different than an area that doesn't have competition.
Correct.
So, yeah.
In order
to get an offer, you must put in a zip code. There's no way around it.
The only thing that I'm worried about is that the service. I mean, the service, they call it AT&T Fiber, but according to, that's a sales guy. They don't have to change the wire that's coming from the street to the house. And the wire,
that's true,
it's copper. I mean, so it's not fiber to the house. I don't care as long as it works. But I'm wondering if that's going to be some kind of compromise on the 500 speed.
Well, I mean, simple testing would show that.
Yeah,
so.
And
there's
really,
a lot of other factors that could affect that too. So
we don't
probably stated in the agreement. It probably says maximum speed.
Yeah, it does. But I mean, if it's become 200, that's a problem.
We had
we
contractor in our neighborhood.
Have any kind of Cat 5 or 6 or anything coming from the street to the house. From the street to the house, it is the old 1-pair underground cable.
That's what you're getting over. You're using now.
Yeah, but there are about 8 of them. Because we had a bunch of landlines when I had the bulletin board, and the business had a bunch of lines. So they are utilizing, I think, two of those to bring in the 100 megabit.
I'm predicting that you're going to have to get a new cable.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I'm not worried about that, but we'll wait and see. And I wonder what Google is going to do if I'm going to go with them. I mean, they supposedly run fiber to the house.
Yeah. That's what I have, at least.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I mean, it's about time that this happened. So yeah,
I had a contractor who, it was an AT&T. I'm trying to remember what it said on the guy's shirt. He was coming around door to door and trying to get people to sign up. But when Pam talked to him and I was doing something else, so I said, come back later. So I was outside and I talked to him, and it says, it didn't say AT&T partner. It was something like that.
Yeah. Anyway.
And I'm looking at it, I said, I have the card of the guy that actually oversaw the installation of the network. And I talked to him when he was out there. I'd see him every once in a while. I'd stop and talk to him. I'm going to go to him because he's the guy that really spent time with me and talked about it. And it was like no pressure.
But if he's an engineer that was overlooking the installation.
No, he wasn't an engineer. He was a supervisor. So, but he said, when you're ready, call me and I'll set you up. Oh. So, but the thing was that the guy who was talking to me yesterday, I said, so what is the 300 service? Oh, that's $49.95, whatever it is. I said, no, what's your $35 a month promotion? Oh, that brings it down to it's $39 for the first year plus $5 for auto pay. And then he said, but if you go to me, I'll waive the $300 installation fee.
Oh.
I said, well, if there's a $300 installation fee, basically you can kiss my ass. So I said it in a nice way. Oh, no, we would waive that. I said, you bet you would.
Yeah, the Google thing said that there is no installation or hardware fees.
Yeah.
With AT&T, I did not ask, but he did not mention it. So
the only reason I haven't done anything is because I have that part of my lawn is still torn up from when I had the trees down, and I have not removed all the roots yet, which I have to do some landscaping and filling erosion up. So I don't know where the cable's going to go. And, oh, no, we could run it around this way and run around that way. I said, no, I'm going to wait till I know where it's going to go because I want to put it someplace and have it protected.
Yeah.
So I have the Time Warner or the Spectrum stuff is actually exposed now.
Still.
It's washed away. Yeah, well, I never filled that in. It's still, I have to cut those roots out first. It's literally wound, like woven through these roots from this tree that's gone.
So you're saying Spectrum is literally refusing to leave the premises?
Yeah, they're tightly woven into the fabric of the community,
clawing their way out.
Yeah. Did I tell you my story about how I cut a cable, and I thought I turned off my daughters or my neighbors? I was putting in a fence at my daughter's house to make a gate so I can store the RV there. And when I put in the post on one side that wasn't attached to anything else, the weight of the gate made the gate drag. So I had to reinforce the 4x4. So I was going to put a short one in the ground and have a brace. So I dig the hole for the short one, and I'm getting down on my hands and knees, like getting the last of it out of the hole with my hand. And I see a cable. Right smack in the center of the hole was a black coax cable, which I cut through. Holy crap. So I run into my daughter's house. Oh, her internet's still on. So then I run over to the neighbor's house, and he has a Ring doorbell. So I press the doorbell, and he goes, "Yeah, can I help you?" Because I know the guy. And I said, "No." I said, "The fact that you're talking to me and it's obviously over the internet and you're not home means that there's no problem." So I went back outside, and I'm looking at the hole, and just to the right of the hole is the actual orange cable that's in service. I missed it.
Ugh.
Oh, I was like, I would have felt so stupid, but thank goodness it was a disaster averted.
Yeah, they keep sending mailings, and they say, before you dig, just call. It's not going to cost you anything. They'll come and they'll mark everything, and please respect what they're marking.
I did it when I had the trees removed. They came and marked.
Mm-hmm.
And then because of the installation of the AT&T fiber, they came again and marked.
Yeah.
So I actually had pictures of the lawn with the markings on it, so I know, because now it's completely torn up and all the markings are gone, but at least I know where everything is.
Yeah. Interesting. So before digging, call
It's
fiber, call Spectrum, call AT&T. So
they do it all for you. There's an outfit. What is the number?
I think it's 811 or 211.
Yeah, that's like
one of those.
Call us first, and you can submit a request online.
Yeah.
Tell what you're doing, and they will. It's like they're supposed to respond within 3 to 5 days. And
so it's a free survey. Basically.
Free service. Yep.
No, it's sort of like a free survey.
I do remember getting charged when I bought the house for a survey like that. So
somebody marked up something that was free. Maybe it's called.
No, I wasn't. It was for buying the house. So
no,
you get
that's
a survey of the.
Yeah, that's.
Oh well, yeah. Well, you have to have a survey.
It's different, but basically, all you need to do is say, "I want to dig," and you get a free survey. You get
they don't show they don't show the
corners.
The corners of the property. They just mark with different colors, like yellow is gas and red is something else, power.
Yeah.
So it's North Carolina 811, and you can register. You can either do it on the webpage or call them. And utility, and you can say I'm a homeowner or I'm a contractor. So, and they're very responsive, and especially from the town, because I have town power, and it's a community power. It's not Duke. They buy their power from Duke and they resell it. So we pay a little bit more for power than Duke does. But they were here within 12 hours to mark. So.
Yeah. It works.
Okay, I'm gonna drop off.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
Be safe, everyone. Be safe. Go down to the beach and stick your toes in the water.
Yep.
Gal, say hi.
That's the plan, at least for Wednesday.
Say hi to everybody, and I guess it's not time to eat yet.
So, no, not yet.
Yeah.
It's always time to eat, Amnon. What are you saying?
Enjoy yourself. Bye-bye. Stay safe.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. That was a nice visit. Very nice.
Yeah, it was unexpected. I thought he wasn't
going to
be around today. Good. Did you zoom me in a little bit?
You want me to zoom you in?
No. I just looked like I was close.
Oh, I know what happened there. But
no, it doesn't matter.
Let me see how I do it. No, I want to see how to do that. Where do I show myself? Dang it. All right, I'll tell you what. I'm going to do it on this.
I put in my background what is advertised on YouTube as a live feed from the ISS. And it's like, well, wait a second. It can't be a live feed because they keep switching to daylight versions of it. I haven't gotten to night yet. So it's not a live version of it. It is an actual video from the ISS, but it's not live. Can't be because they don't show the Terminator or darkness.
Is this better, Spence?
Something here. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. It was fine on my screen. It was fine. It's just
and you know how the stamp at the top where you see who's here. When there's more than one guest, you see all of them.
Oh, right. Okay.
And
and each one is individually set, right?
When Gal dropped, no, not everybody. No, it's not that it's individually. Is I capture the screen without those. See, right now this comes up when I go down there.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But it's okay. I don't do that, so it's fine. I hide myself. So I have no idea how to unhide or to show, but it's okay. I just zoomed out because what will happen when we end the show and I don't save it, next time it's going to be back to the normal size, so it's fine. Let's see what What do you have something? I mean, I've got.
I do. I just noticed when I was browsing around this morning a couple of Microsoft stories.
Okay, go for it.
One is that they've started auto updating for anybody that's still Windows 10 2004. They're going to start updating them to 21H1 automatically.
Oh,
so that was turned off for a while because of the issues they had with that update.
Yeah.
So now it's back in auto update. So if you were counting on them to delay it and you need to delay it, go into your settings, your update settings, and you can still select up to 30 days. I think you can re-upping that. You know, you can go in again and make it another 30 days. You can, if you want to do that, if you want to delay it for any reason. I've been good. I'm on 21H1 on all my machines, and I haven't experienced any issues. And I did upgrade several customer machines, so with no issue. So apparently they solved all that. So that's good. This is an interesting story. This is on Bleeping Computer. And it says Microsoft hints at upcoming Windows 11 reveal this month.
New window that's going to be different.
Oh, very different. And I was reading about what's going to be changed in it. But the point is that they may be, when they first introduced Windows 10, they said, this is the last version of Windows will be. It will always be, we'll have that recurring, just like Mac OS is the same thing. It's, it's always just, it just keeps evolving, the same name. Well, they've hinted now that it could be 11. So the marketing people who are paid to incessantly change things for no reason, that's their job in marketing, is to have to force companies to get new stationery, right? You go out and buy all the stationery you need with your name on it, and then they change something.
Right.
So that's what marketing research does, is they look for reasons to exist. So they have to go and they have to muck with it. And now, so we're looking at potentially Windows 11, right? And
well,
that's just the reality of that's business, right? They always have to change the new Coke, right? They have to do something. So even if it's a bad idea, but some of the things that are going to be in it is and I didn't really understand what this meant. The release is called, the working title for the Sun Valley, and it's going to be called 21H2 instead of 21H1. It's a feature update, but they're hinting at next year too that there's going to be, as part of this new feature update, there will be some significant changes. What does it say? DNS over HTTPS support, modern disk management utility, revamped battery settings, better GPU performance. And there was something else significant about Linux. What was it here? I can find it. But if you're interested, go to Bleeping Computer. There's a story there about this. And they do have a new teaser, which seems to indicate what they did was they shine light through the Windows window from behind. And it makes a picture on the floor of the graphic of an 11. Even though there are cross pieces in the window, the only one that shows up is the vertical one. The horizontal one is missing. So hint, hint, hint.
Well, the story about it, the more is after teasing Windows 10's next UI refresh last week, Microsoft confirmed Wednesday, that's last Wednesday, that the next generation of Windows will be announced on June 24th.
Yes.
Windows, the dominant operating system of personal computer, is a source of 14%, blah, blah, blah. Company, Microsoft. The company has pushed 2 updates each year to its Windows 10 operating system since it first became available in 2015. And it announced that it won't ship Windows 10X. That's another one. And that operating system initially designed for dual screen, and we talked about that. The company is working on an update to Windows with the codename Sun Valley that includes a more modern look with rounded corners coming to components such as the Start menu. Microsoft could ship a revamp.
That's the most important thing.
Of course. I mean, they got to come up with something. Microsoft could ship a revamp of its Windows App Store, which would allow developers to use third-party commerce systems alongside the Sun Valley update. The event will be held online at 11 a.m. Eastern, according to an invitation the company sent to reporters. And that's
you know what it looks like? It looks like there's something with coordination between the two organizations. The people that run the updates and the people that are marketing the future don't talk to each other.
Yeah.
So that's what. So I mean, big companies. If you've never worked for a big company, this is standard operating procedure. This is nothing new. So it's not surprising or even alarming. It's just the way they do things.
Right.
So, yeah. Now I'm trying to find it here. I did see something as I was reading before about some interoperation with Linux, which I got to try to find here. Where is it? Oh, here it says Windows brings together all developer and collaboration tools in one place. It lets you choose the hardware you want, works with Linux and Windows as one. Now, what does that mean? And has a modern terminal. That's always been a criticism of Windows with their terminal is lacking. There's so many other ones out there that do so much better. But
that would be nice.
Yeah. Well, you know, it'll keep us in business, right?
The other thing that is very interesting that is happening now, it's a problem. Employees are quitting instead of giving up working from home. A lot of big companies, are losing employees because those employees found out that they can go with other companies and work from home. Or, even worse than that, collect unemployment.
Oh, that's amazing. Did you see what's happened? I think it was 25 states have voted now. So originally it was like 20 states. Now it's up to 25, I think, are voting to remove the federal benefits.
Absolutely, they should.
Some people are making, what did you say the other day? Some people are making like $1,000 a month.
Yeah, easy.
Unemployment. And you could go back to work and make $800 a month.
Right.
If that. I mean, that's, you know.
And what? And there was a story
that a month,
Nick was talking about last week about the fact that Congress is trying to extend the benefits by another 26 weeks.
It wasn't $1,000 a month. It was like $800 a week. Something like that. What $1,000 a month is nothing. I mean, that's $250 a week. But no,
we're talking about weekly anyway.
Yeah, weekly. My mistake.
But to extend it by another 26 weeks?
Yeah, you want to grind the economy. You want to grind the economy into the ground.
Yeah.
Why would you want to? And
it's ridiculous.
Made such a big deal about the unemployment numbers were so bad. The last report, and the new one is not great. It's better than the last one, but it still isn't great.
Right.
What do they expect? How are you going to revive the economy if nobody's working?
Not that way. Not with giving people money.
Nope.
Go out and work. The work is out there. It's waiting for you.
Well, look at the background, Amnon. We're actually Wave to Gal. I think we'll see him soon.
You what?
Wave to Gal. I think we'll see him soon in the background going past.
Because you're there.
Yeah, I'm over the Persian Gulf. Actually, it would be a little bit off from here, but oh well.
Why did I lose in my ear?
Your ear fell out?
I'll be damned.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the unintended consequences of so much that's happened in the last year that I don't know. There are smart people could have predicted that this would have happened. But I think most people are still shocked to see it happen. And then they realize, well, you know, it was really set up to do this from the beginning.
Anyway.
So, any new big ransomware stories?
Yes. It's ridiculous.
The floodgates have opened.
I mean, these guys are really hitting everybody. Here is this is not just the hack that took down the largest fuel pipeline in the U.S. and led to shortages across the East Coast was the result of a single compromised password, according to a cybersecurity consultant who responded to the attack. Can you imagine? One compromised password.
Yep.
There's really no reason for something like this to happen these days.
But Amnon, they fixed it. The White House fixed it.
Yeah.
They said they urged businesses to take ransomware seriously.
It says hackers gained entry into the network of Colonial Pipeline on April 29th through a virtual private network account, which allowed employees to remotely access the company's computer network. And this came from Senior Vice President of cybersecurity firm Mandiant, part of FireEye. The account was no longer in use at the time of the attack, but could still be used to access Colonial Network. Can you imagine that? It's somebody that's no longer working there, and they kept it there, and it's a VP. I mean, this is really unbelievable. They don't know how they found it, and they think that they got it from the dark web from one other. It was the same password that this person used somewhere else, and that's how they got it. But I mean, it's.
Well, they're actively publishing ransomware variants that you can go out there. Which one do you want? What do you want it to do? You can just go in and find them. It's amazing. Since the 31st, JBS Foods, to their credit, they had a secure backup that was isolated, that they could bring back up. They lost some transactions, but they were able to recover. There's stories here about the different variants of these ransomware attacks. Fujifilm was shut down by ransomware attack. Massachusetts' largest ferry system hit by ransomware attack. Scripps Health notifies patients of data breach. UF Health Florida back to pen and paper after cyber attack.
I mean, they see results. They're getting paid. So, hey, let's do it again. And now they're pissed off because somehow it looks like we managed to shut one of them off, the one with Colonial. I don't know if we did it or how it happened, but anyway, they lost their website and they lost a lot of all their wallets with the cryptocurrency, and
it just pisses them off, though.
Yeah, it pisses them off, so they try even harder.
Yep. Well, easy money. Who wouldn't want to make a ton of money sitting in their, in their comfortable chair?
And it's not just that. That's their job. That's what they do for a living, so to speak. And they're sitting in Russia, where they are protected.
It can't easily be determined as to where they really are, because there are tools out there that our own NSA developed that can make it look like it comes from anywhere.
Yeah.
So who knows? Oh, I tell you, if there was ever if you've got the skill set needed to go into cybersecurity, it is the hottest job opportunity.
Oh, absolutely.
Anywhere. So crazy.
Yep, crazy is the right word. Okay. Listen to this now. Data mining startup Stealth Data is working to help websites uncover the individual names, phone numbers, emails, and physical addresses of the users who visit websites. This information can include a website visitor job title, employer, annual income, age, and personal and professional social media profile. I don't know how they're going to get this, but apparently there's a way to do it. So that businesses can use this data for marketing purposes. Stealth Data third co-founder Chad Sneed experienced marketing frustrations firsthand through his family's dealership, Dennis Sneed Ford in Gower, Missouri. Sneed, who's the vice president and partner, said the dealership spends a significant amount of marketing, from search engines to third-party advertising. A bulk of the dealership's website visitors were anonymous, however, which meant it couldn't follow up with visitors to try and close a sale. He wanted to unlock that information and started talking to the dealership's outside marketing firm, influence, to see if it was possible. Puckett, who co-founded FAM with Harris, also is a trial lawyer. My lawyer had instantly said no, Puckett said. But after digging further, he discovered it's legal and that using the information for cold calling and emailing is fair game. So Sneed noted that he doesn't see any privacy issues.
Really?
I mean, and here we're just talking about one person, one dealership and stuff, but you know that if that works,
we need to distribute his own personal cell phone number.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he can get all the calls. But at what point will marketing be synonymous with harassment?
Who knows? Never.
I'm at the point now, though, where my phone actually does tell me now suspected spam. So I never answer if I don't recognize a number, I don't answer. It just goes to voicemail.
Yeah.
I just don't do it.
Yeah.
And if the home phone rings and we look at it, sometimes just for fun we'll answer, but typically it doesn't even connect anything. So it just, unless they're looking for a specific answer. I don't know what they're looking for, but it doesn't connect. It doesn't go to a call center, nothing. Hello, nothing.
Yeah, right.
So what good is it?
No, these are the fishermen. They want to see if you're alive.
Yes, to find out if it's a good number.
All right. Spence, you ready for specials?
I am.
Y'all are?
Y'all, I is. All right. So, what would our day be like without the internet, right? How would we ever find out about these very, very important stories, like firefighters free man's head from washing machine? I mean, I need to know this. My day's not complete unless I have this full story. Or fake dentist pulled 10 teeth without anesthesia. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Students caught using spy gadgets to cheat on medical exams. These are the future doctors.
Yeah.
Using their smart watches and stuff to cheat. Oh, man. And then, of course, the genius, the man that hides from the police in a freezer. Can't make this stuff up. Can't make it up. All right. So, Computers 2K Now specials for June 6th. Hey, today is June 6th.
Today is June 6th.
E-Day, 2021. So how many years has it been? I got to add it's in the almost 80 years.
And yesterday was the first day of the 6-Day War, 67.
That's right. Yep, significant days. So I put this on the top here from Staples because it was probably the most annoying version of too low to show. Used to be that too low to show meant you had to put it into the cart to see the price.
Right.
No, you have to go to the store to find out the price. How is that for marketing?
Well, they try to get you in. Absolutely.
I tell you. And I like Staples as a store, but I don't like this policy. This is ridiculous. I mean, if you go in there, if it's a regular price of $8.79, you go in there and it's $8.69,
right?
You're going to be pissed, right?
Yep.
So it better be $500 in the store. This is actually it's just not a slouch. This is an i5, 8 gig, 256 SSD, good graphics, gigabit Ethernet, 802.11 AC, Bluetooth 5, Windows 10 64. And on and on. It's a decent machine for if the price is low enough, great. Now, these are very useful machines. It's a 27-inch screen. So nice machine. Okay. Still no sales on Brother printers, but availability is back. The entry-level 2320D duplex, this is not wireless, just it is a USB connected printer. Available for $99. The workhorses. I've always liked Brother printers. Several others out there: Canon, Epson laser printers, very good. I can't really say whether I like HP lasers anymore. I haven't had an HP laser in a long time, but I can say that those three manufacturers had good luck with installing for other people or using myself. Got a 27-inch Acer LED monitor for $139. Now, that also is not a sale price. That is the regular price. QuickBooks 2021 Desktop Pro Plus. This is the entry-level version for $199. It's $100 off. So if you're not a QuickBooks user or you want to upgrade, this is a good chance. You could probably get the upgrade through QuickBooks. I would imagine it would be easier than buying it and reinstalling. You might be able to.
But it'll cost more.
You think it'll cost more to upgrade?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a good deal. I mean, if I wasn't at the point where I'm slimming down my business and I don't really need, despite the fact that I have more complicated accounting, I really don't need QuickBooks. I don't pay any I don't do any 1099s. I don't hire contractors, those kind of things. And so I'm not going to get it. But it's good software. I hope that they fixed their issue with Internet Explorer. I think they have. But okay, Lexar, what is it here? 32 gig USB 3.1 flash drive for $999, which is about half price, like 45% off. Normally $18. We've got an Asus Core i3 laptop for $379, $70 off. Entry level, but a nice machine. 15.6 inch display, 4 gig of memory. 120 gig solid state. I'd like a little more memory, and a 4 is not enough, really. But for an entry-level machine, they're available in quantity, which is nice. We've got a Lenovo Flex Core i5. This is the kind that's got the convertible screen where you can flip it over and turn it into a tablet. How many people are really using Windows tablets unless they bought a Surface?
Right.
I don't know. Pam's little computer, Dell computer, is a touchscreen, and never uses the touchscreen side of it. When I use hers for something, sometimes I'll use it, but it's just if you weren't trained and started out on a tablet, I love my iPad, and that's all touchscreen. But what can I say? All right, so $649, $150 off for this machine. It's got 12 gig of memory and a 500 gig solid state drive. Netgear Nighthawk Mesh Wi-Fi 6 system. It looks like waffles, doesn't it? Like a waffle maker, the top. I don't know why. It's just their packaging, whatever. It's a 3-pack. And 90-day Netgear Armor subscription, whatever that is. Probably some online monitoring of your network. But $249, which is $50 off. Mesh with Wi-Fi 6 is the way to go. So you can probably find some stuff out there that's a little cheaper. But the prices of this have come down significantly, the mesh products, which is a very good thing. Okay, got a Lenovo Idea Center 5 desktop Intel Core i5 for $549, which is $50 off. 8 gig of memory, 256 gig solid state drive. Oh, and that's it for staples. Going over to Office Depot, Office Max, we've got a bunch of Ryzen machines here. We've got a HP 15.6-inch Ryzen 7 for $644, which is $70 off. Got an Asus VivaBook 15.6-inch Ryzen 3 for $399, which is $80 off. And got a Lenovo IdeaPad 5 laptop 15.6 Ryzen 5 for $499, which is $90 off. So a Ryzen 3, a Ryzen 5, a Ryzen 7. Also got one Ryzen 7 desktop from HP, which is a 16 gig of memory, 256 gig hard drive, 256 gig solid state drive for $699, which is $30 off. Logitech K350 wireless keyboard. Now, this is not a combo. It doesn't come with the mouse. So if you want to get a mouse that's better than the one, kind of the normal one that comes with a keyboard like this is the Wave keyboard. It's got all the extra functions, a little more ergonomic curves to it. Nice wrist rest on it and all this stuff. It's $29, $7 off. But this is really good price for this type of keyboard. You can add your own mouse. Doesn't really matter. You can buy a Logitech mouse and have it work with their Unify adapter, or just get your own otherwise connected through their own little dongle.
Mm-hmm.
Got a JLab on-the-ear headphone set for $14.99, which is $3 off. Now, this has a built-in microphone. This could be used for, now the microphone, I can't say how good it is because it's not a boom mic, but for $14.99 for a fairly good headset, not bad. Western Digital Elements, 1 terabyte portable external hard drive, $47.99. Prices still continue to come down. A regular price would put it at $74.99, so it's $27 off. I don't know what kind of software Elements comes with, and that's something to consider. The type of backup software is probably very rudimentary. But you can go out and get the free version of Iomi, or you can go buy something like Second Copy and have it running. But please, 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 if you don't have your critical data backed up somehow in the cloud or with a local device somehow, I would do both, right?
Yep.
Do it. Do it. $47.99, you have no excuse. Okay, SanDisk Ultra 3.0, 64 gig flash drive for $12.99. That's $13 off. We have an Epson Workforce ES300W, which is the wireless portable document scanner for $239.99, say $40. This is with a sheet feeder. So this is really meant to do volume work. I'm not sure how many sheets it'll take at once, but these continue to come down in price. Got an Asus AX 2700 gigabit Wi-Fi 6 router for $179, and that's normally $199, so $20 off. Roku Ultra for $69.99, which is $30 off the regular price. And finally, a SanDisk Extreme Plus Micro SDSX card with adapter, 64 gig for $24.99, save $20. I had an interesting experience. I have my Wise outdoor wireless cam, which has an SD card, micro SD card slot, I should say. And also the base station also has a card slot in it. It will not work with anything over 32 gig. And it says right in the documentation, we recommend 32 gig or less. And I don't know what the limitation is for it. But the only way I found out was I go and I say format, okay, format complete. Still did not see the card. So now I know. And what I did was I just bought a inexpensive off-brand pair of 32s on Amazon for like $12. And now I'm running it. So I can do what they call travel mode. The Wise cameras typically use a base station. And I believe there's a way, my son was telling me, you can connect them directly to your Wi-Fi, but the base station is actually a good idea because it separates the traffic off into its own frequencies and its own, so you've got more of a dedicated infrastructure for the cameras. But you can put it in something called travel mode. And what travel mode does is it takes the Wi-Fi in the camera and turns it into an access point. So normally it's just an adapter connecting to the base station. But if you want to travel away from the internet, you still want to do recording, and that includes time-lapse recording, continuous recording, motion capture recording. You set it up in travel mode, and what it does is comes up as an access point. You connect your smart device to it, your smartphone, to the Wi-Fi, and now you run the app and you control it. So and you can look at the video live and so on. So it's really a good way to take that stuff that's kind of anchored to your home network and use it wherever you go. And I have people testing this, and it really does a nice job if you want to use it outbound somewhere. So I got it to work. It works good. I'm also going to install the doorbell. I purchased the doorbell. I just haven't put it in yet. All right, so that's it at Office Depot, Office Max, and finally we're looking at when is Father's Day? Is it not next week? The week after? It is next week. Okay. So usually I do it on the day of. So thank goodness I got it to it a week early. So
maybe no. Maybe it is the week after.
It might be 2 weeks out.
Yeah,
20 something. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
but now's the time if you're going to order something, look at something. These are some interesting things to look at. You want to have your own magnetic levitating globe with LED light? We got it. $37. Good for the desk. It's got some interesting LED lighting, and that globe will actually float in the air. And I doesn't really show a picture comparing it to something else to know how big it is. It could be really, really small, but who knows? But still interesting. I typically don't go out and buy toolkits like this that contain all supposed computer repair toolkit and laptop stuff. 56 different bits.
Yeah, just to get you dangerous.
But if you're new to it and you don't have these tools, and I hope it has a secure Torx too, which is essential for certain types of repairs. Maybe it has that triangle thing that we talked about the other day. I'm not. But the point is, for $17, you can get a nice kit that can do a lot of things. It says personal computer, precision laptop screwdriver. I'm not sure what personal computer stuff you would be able to do with this because it doesn't look like it has a full-size screwdriver. It's got the little micro tips, but hey, it's a nice gift, not expensive. Where did they come up with these names now? Tizal travel laptop backpack. Okay, doesn't matter what it's called. Limited time deal, $19 for this thing. It's got USB charging point, anti-theft bag, holds a 15.6 inch to 17.3 inch laptop. Got all kinds of goodies built into it. Screen magnifier. This is pretty cool. Do you remember the adapter you used to have to make a black and white TV into color?
Yeah.
And all it was a prismatic
right
piece of plastic you stuck in front of the screen. So one person would be green and one would be blue and another one yellow.
But it was color.
It was color. They didn't lie. What did they exclusively sell it on the back of comic books or something? What? So this makes it look like you've got a curved widescreen television.
From your phone.
From your phone. Yeah, from your phone. But I'd be suspicious of this simply because it says 12 inches. It's not that big. But 12 inches, because this kind of stuff, for me personally, kind of gives me a headache. But if you want a cool gimmick, Dad likes to watch football clips at work, and he doesn't want to put it on his screen and get in trouble. This might be a way to do it. $12 or $12.99. There were a lot of these out, these prism monocular or special lenses for your cell phone. And I like this one just because apparently you can hold it with one hand easily and point it like a monocular at whatever whatever's you're looking at.
The subject,
it seemed to be, some of them were very awkward, and they had like a turret of lenses. It was kind of weird. But this one has, you can hold it and focus it and all that at the same time and look at the picture on the screen. So don't know what the quality is like. It isn't cheap. It's $79, normally $89, $10 off. So Goski Titan 12 by 50 high power prism monocular and with quick smartphone holder. Okay, so everybody needs to have a hat with Bluetooth speakers built in, right? Now, the chipset that works with this has been universally adapted to so many different products. iBands, just crazy stuff that you can buy, hats, wigs. I mean, just you name it. But this also has a microphone in it, so you can use it to take calls. It would be rather awkward though, because it's not in earbuds; it's actually playing it to the speakers that other people can hear. So I don't like a speakerphone stuff, but $21. This could be just that unique gift you're looking for your dad, who would appreciate it. So next, this should be sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts. This next one, right? The travel power strip, three USB portable desktop charging ports plus three 120 volt outlets. But what I like about this is the cord. It's got a wind-up cord that wraps around, and it's got a power button. So this is actually pretty advanced for $19. 15-inch cord. These are great. These travel things that have the extension cord. So you go to a hotel, and the only open outlet you can get to without disconnecting the clock or the lamp is behind the bed, and you want to plug in your charger and you can't. So these are perfect for those situations.
Too bad it's not also a surge protector.
Yeah, well, I guess it isn't. Actually, in a lot of cases, I don't want a surge protector. So on a cruise ship, they don't want you to use anything like this that has a surge protector built into it, because it messes with their electrical system. Man's graphic T-shirt. This is for you, Amnon. It just says, "I'm thinking," and it's got the little spinning wheel on it. I thought that was pretty clever for $9.99. That's a fun gift. And finally, this is the gotta have toilet timer. And it's not electronic. It uses an hourglass. But look at the. It's a great.
I just realized.
A good gag gift. This is really this is a lot of fun. Toilet timer. If you're not looking at the graphic right now, it's got a silhouette of somebody sitting on the toilet with sand flowing down through the person into the toilet. That's the actual timer itself for $14.99. So happy Father's Day. So that's it for Computers 2K Now specials for June 6th, 2021.
Thanks, Spence.
I'm trying to think, there was something I was going to mention about. Oh, yeah, the USB charger. Remember I told you about that? The wall installed.
Oh, yeah.
USB combo charger
right.
and outlets. And this was purchased back when they were relatively expensive. And I bought a cheap one and installed it in the bedroom. And it had two 2.1 amp USB charger ports and two 120 volt outlet receptacles, right? Worked great years and years and years. Happened to have a suitcase sitting on the floor, and the two power cords, not the USB cord, which wasn't connected in here, but the two power cords were laying behind the suitcase and around the front. Moved the suitcase over just enough to pull the cord tension on that outlet. Lights go out. I'm in my closet in the bedroom. My wife is over there moving something. Pam, she's like, "Oh, lights went out." So I'm thinking the whole house went out. So it's very dark. I find a flashlight, and I look through the blinds outside. No, the street light's on. Other houses are on. So I go out in the hall, and sure enough, the lights are on. The little night light is on in the hall. So it's just this circuit breaker. I go downstairs, and I reset it. Keeps tripping. Unplug the plugs. Keeps tripping. Had to remove the adapter from the wall and replace it with a standard outlet to get the power to come back on. And I haven't opened it yet. And we talked about the screws are special security screws that are a triangular head to the screwdriver that would match up with the screw that holds this thing together. So I'm going to take it apart and look inside. But I'm like, what could have happened that slight bit of sideways tension on the cords could have made this thing short out and fail? And not like you're looking like you cracked it or anything. Like you just tugged on the cord. That's how fragile it is.
Yeah, it's cheaply made on the inside.
It is cheaply made. And I haven't replaced it. I don't know that I'll replace it with another USB charger, because the plug-in ones are so much cheaper now.
Mm-hmm.
And they have multiple ports, and they have cord management, and they have lots of AC outlets, and you could just take it out when it fails, and it's cheaper and easier. So why do that? So that's probably what I'm going to do.
Absolutely.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, well, you just said it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, back then, you're right. Back then it was something, but today you wouldn't be doing that.
So everyone asked, was his head pulled from the washing machine attached? I said, no, his head was removed. That's so they had to do that to get his head out, and then they stitched him back together. So.
Now listen to that. 7-Eleven announced Tuesday that it will be placing 500 EV chargers, electrical vehicle, at 250 stores in the US and Canada by the end of 2022. There will be DC fast chargers, and it looks like they'll be supplied by ChargePoint. So we'd bet on anything from 60-ish kilowatts to 125 kilowatts. These new chargers will join 7-Eleven's small network of 22 charging stations at 14 stores in 4 states. And the whole thing is part of 7-Eleven's ongoing work to reduce its carbon footprint. And when I was reading it, I said, yeah, right. That's all they're trying to do, reduce the carbon footprint.
You're right.
Never mind.
It's called virtue signaling.
People come in, they get all the Slurpees, and they buy this and they buy that because you have to wait there. It's interesting that the spin that they took. Let's see what else.
Sorry, I was muted there for a second. Pam was leaving.
Okay. We talked about this before, but it's happening. Samsung is killing the first generation SmartThings hub at the end of the month, kicking off phase 2 of its plan to shut down the SmartThings ecosystem and force users over to in-house Samsung infrastructure. Phase 1 was in October when Samsung killed the classic SmartThings app and replaced it with Byzantine disaster of an app that is developed in-house.
Byzantine, I like that.
Yep. Phase 3 will see the shutdown of the SmartThings Groovy IDE, an excellent feature that lets members of the community develop SmartThings device handlers and complicated automation apps. So, yep, they're doing away with all that ecosystem.
Mr. C put up there about the USB thing, Chinese junk, no UL stamp. There was no UL stamp, and it was also, it said Rojas, but it didn't spell the word compliant right.
Complaint.
It was like complaint. So, yeah, it was not what you think.
Now, live streams for radio and TV stations owned by the Cox Media Group, one of the largest media conglomerates in the U.S., have gone down last week in what multiple sources have described as a ransomware attack. So this is TV. Did you mention that in the list that you were reading?
Yes.
Oh.
Yep. It was further down the list, but it was there. Stop the streaming coming from lots of sources.
Yep.
Locked distribution of their programming.
Yeah, so it impacted streaming capabilities for Cox radio and TV stations, official websites, telephone lines, and other IT systems remained running.
It's tragic that the reaction to this is meh, and will Jen Psaki circle back on this with us?
Well, let me tell you something. I also would go, nah.
Yeah.
Because after all these ransomware attacks and problems
on board,
you need to do something about your system. You need to completely go over and update procedures, update maybe hardware. I mean, this is Cox. This is not somebody at home.
Well, I think there could be some. Now, I'm not saying that any administration or in the past had better leadership in this space, but we could do with some leadership here.
Absolutely.
To have a organization say, here are our published recommendations. So maybe there are out there. Are they being publicized? They need to be part of any business plan, has to have a recovery plan.
Sure.
It doesn't matter what it is. If you're a food truck, you got to have a recovery plan. You can't just assume that everything's going to work. So,
because it's not.
It's really sad.
Yeah. So, in a company-wide memo to staff last Wednesday, CEO Tim Cook said workers must return to their desks for at least 3 days a week, though exceptions will be made. Some staff members will be given the options to work the remaining 2 days remotely. Teams that require in-person work will return for 4 days or 5 days. Apple also told staff they will be able to apply for a chance to work remotely for 2 weeks a year. That's the vacation, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So they can. So we'll let you work or you're on vacation. No problem.
Yeah.
I personally, I don't have a problem with this.
No.
The company can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
If people don't like it, like they said, now this is going to they're going to lose some employees over this.
Yep.
Because people are just going to want to work from home and they get an offer from somebody else. But that's the way the market works. It's supply and demand.
Yep.
You get a better salary when there's demand, and you get a lousy salary when there's too much supply. So that's the way it is. People get used to this. This is the way life is.
Yeah. And there was an article that I didn't print out that many managers at Apple's self-driving cars have left. And that outfit that is doing all this research about why and this and that, they say it's because of attrition. And that's going to hurt Apple big time. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Everything is, what do they say, seasonal?
Right.
The wind blows in one direction and it blows in another direction. And what was it years ago? They had Tom Peters, I think it was, had the business cycle where it showed initial product launch, early adopters, rapid acceleration, reaching their peak, and then it starts to taper off again unless you reinvent and keep reinventing that way. Otherwise, you basically go out of business. So those principles haven't changed. If you can't keep up, or you decide that something you invested in, like Windows 10 as a product name, suddenly becomes passe, and now you got to go with Windows 11.
Yep.
That's the reality of it. The guy that went there to work I'm going to stay with Windows 10 forever. No, you're not.
Famous last words.
Yeah. Yep.
And talking about ransomware, the U.S. Department of Justice is elevating investigations of ransomware attacks to a similar priority as terrorism in the wake of the Colonial Pipeline hack and mounting damage caused by cyber criminal. This is coming from senior department official. As internal guidance sent on last Thursday to U.S. attorneys' offices across the country said information about ransomware investigations in the field should be centrally coordinated with a recently created task force in Washington. It's a specialized process to ensure that we track all ransomware cases, regardless of where it may be referred in this country. So you can make the connections between actors and work your way up to disrupt the whole chain. The acting deputy attorney general said. So they're finally taking it seriously.
Well, that's good. To designate this as terrorism would give it a whole different
absolutely
set of skills looking at it too. If you really look at it for what it is.
And penalties.
Yes. Just because it doesn't involve a bad actor in person beating somebody in the head doesn't mean it doesn't have a dramatic effect on all of society.
Right.
You think about the future. What happens if you've got somebody on the space station and they hack into the environmental control system, life support system, and shut it down?
Yep.
Right.
Jeez.
And they all suffocate.
Yep.
Possible.
It's very possible.
I shouldn't have said that because now I gave somebody an idea.
Something to do with eBay here. New terms of use for eBay have come into effect, which means the online auction house will now pay sellers directly rather than through PayPal. PayPal was acquired by eBay in the early days of 2002, and the two firms have worked in partnership ever since. The changes means that while eBay buyers can still pay with PayPal, sellers will be paid straight into their bank account. But some sellers have threatened to stop using the service over the move. I don't know why. But whatever. It's I guess it's less problems for them and more streamlined. There must be a reason. Now, as far as do you remember SolarWinds? Listen to this. The ongoing multi-vendor investigation into the SolarWinds mega hack took another twist this week with the discovery of new malware artifacts that could be used in future supply chain attacks. According to a new report, the latest wave of attacks being attributed to APT29 Nobelium includes a custom downloader that is part of a poisoned update installer for electronic keys used by the Ukrainian government. Sentinel-1 principal threat researchers Juan Andre documented the latest finding in a blog post, and it advances previous investigations from Microsoft and Volexity. At this time, this means the means of distribution for the poisoned update installer are unknown. It's possible that these updates archive are being used as part of a regionally specific supply chain attack. So they put something in there, just like, a sleeping agent that they'll be able to use later on. These guys are serious, and everybody has to take them as such. You can't just say, oh, it's not going to happen to us. We're okay. No. Spencer, are you using FireFox or are you using?
I have it on one machine, yes.
Well, they updated it this week, and I don't like it. It's a lot. There's a lot more white space, and you have to scroll.
Rearranging graphics, or
well, I mean, if I'm looking at my bookmarks, what used to be half the screen,
now it's a whole.
Now screen. I have to scroll all the way down to the bottom and scroll a little bit to get to. I don't know why they did it. I was trying to find if there's any way to adjust this space. But anyway.
Can you just play with the control plus and minus to see if it changes it? Maybe it zoomed it. Maybe. You didn't realize?
Mozilla Firefox 89 releases to the general public last week, complete with the new, what they call Proton interface, which simplifies the browser's menus and alters the tab bar beyond anything we've seen from previous Firefox releases or other web browsers. The top of the screen is also very empty and waste of space. I never liked interfaces that waste the space. They say they took out a lot of stuff that you don't use. Well, fine, then compact it, bring it up a little bit.
They would do better to offer a version that says you have 3 choices for how busy your screen is: minimum, normal, and high.
Okay, yeah.
But that way, because now they change it, and people who are used to it and using it for a while are going, "What happened?"
Yeah.
And so I realize that they're in a position where it's not like they're, the Mozilla group is a not-for-profit, supposedly.
Now, I'm using Firefox kind of like exclusively. And I don't see anything that they made it easier for me. If anything, it made it more complicated, more clicks. I don't know.
Well,
weird. But of course, like you said, there are those people out there that just have to come up with something new.
Well, I mean, I don't fault them, because you get a department that's budget is based on something that's measurable in a way that affects the business. So they can't just sit there and go, everything's going great, so we're in good shape.
Yeah.
They have to come up with something new. And when they do, just like yesterday, I was using PowerPoint to do a presentation for a video we were recording for somebody's retirement.
Right.
And part of it was I was creating funny pictures where I did a cutout of the person's face, several versions of it, and I put their face on top of different job descriptions, right? Golfer, lifeguard, whatever.
Okay.
And there was a way inside of PowerPoint that you could do this, because I was trying to use, what was the program, Paint? What was the older very basic graphics that was built into Windows?
PC Paint,
Yeah, Paint. But there is a way to cut out, but you have to save it as a certain type of vector graphics and all this stuff to get it so that it doesn't have a border. It's not a square. So you can do that in PowerPoint. I was amazed. I found a video tutorial on how to do it. But because of the version that I'm using, which is one ahead of the video, the menu is different. So you're doing the same functions, but they put them in different places. Why, with every new generation, do you have to rearrange it? You want people to adopt your new version. Well, it's not helping, and you're pissing off your customers because it makes it hard. I found it, but I had to search for it. You can take, just to tell you what you do, if you wanted to cut out a face or cut out a body or any kind of object, and what you do is you save the screen as a picture. You put the picture on PowerPoint, and then you go in there and you use the line tool, but you do a free-form line, which you create with the mouse. If you do it quickly, it kind of looks sloppy, but you basically outline the thing you want to isolate. Then you take that line, that basically the outline that you've drawn, you move it off to the side, you click on that, you go into the properties, you say fill. The choices are fill with picture, fill with gradient, fill with solid color. You fill with a picture, and it will take the picture the user generated it from, and you pop it in there, and it saves it inside that frame. So now that's the border of it. There's no square around it. There's no and you save it as a graphic, and now you can put it anywhere on the screen. So, and once I did it a couple of times, and this is much, much easier than using Paint. Because Paint, you had to go through some file conversions, and it was not easy to do. And I don't have Photoshop. I mean, I probably have a really, really old version of it somewhere that I could do this with, and I'm sure it's much more sophisticated, but I didn't have the time to look for it. But they changed between the two editions. They changed on one, it's right there on the top menu. Click and fill. What do you want to fill it with? The other one, you had to go into the properties of the actual picture itself and change the properties and find that list, and then find where it says it actually grouped it together, gradient and or picture. And you had to select that. And then it said, what do you want to use, a gradient or a picture? It was just, it made it so much more complicated to find it. But that's their job.
Yeah.
Somebody got an award for hiding it, right? It's a shame.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. That's right.
Yeah, oh, well is right. Absolutely right. Listen here. A scammer who convinced some of the world's biggest tech businesses to send him replacement kit has been sentenced to 7 years and 8 months in a U.S. prison system. Justin David May, 31 years old, used stolen hardware, serial numbers, a plethora of fake websites and online identities, social engineering tactics, and a network of associates to scam Cisco out of nearly $3.5 million in hardware in just 12 months. Microsoft lost 137 Surface laptops at a cost of $364,000 to that crew, with Lenovo US also losing 137 replacement hard drives was worth $143,000, and APC getting scammed out of a few uninterruptible power supplies. It's interesting the way he did it. I mean, there's no reason to publicize it, but I'm glad they got him.
Yes. Set a precedent for a big conviction.
Yeah.
Maybe people will think.
Yeah. Who knows what else they discovered in that investigation. But that's amazing that $3.5 million from Cisco, and it's probably because Cisco is huge that things were going unnoticed. So,
or it was very plausible.
Yeah,
but they just said, they weren't really alarmed by it at first because it didn't seem to be outside the normal chain of support. So.
Now,
did you see the story about Norton adding crypto mining to Norton 360?
I saw something about it, but what do you know about it?
No, I was just scanning through news stories and I saw this here. It's like Norton LifeLock, the company whose software for such thrilling scenarios. Oh God, my parents bought an OEM PC. Can you please make the software stop bugging me to buy it? Right? Added, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. But does it protect your machine from being used as crypto mining, or do you actually allow you to use your machine for crypto mining?
Well,
so they empower. We want to empower our customers to mine cryptocurrency with Norton, a brand that they trust.
Yeah, you would think that people. You would think that people buy Norton in order to make sure that doesn't happen.
Themselves. According to LifeLock, mining cryptocurrency on your PC under Norton 360 app is part of being safe because antivirus software often flags mining applications that are potentially unwanted software.
Yeah.
So we'll let you do it, but only if you use ours.
All right, now parents and adults, pay attention here. A change to TikTok's U.S. privacy policy on Wednesday introduced a new section that says the social video app may collect biometric identifiers and biometric information from users' content. This includes things like face prints, voice prints, the policy explained. Reach for comment. TikTok could not confirm what product developments necessitated the addition of biometric data to its list of disclosures about the information it automatically collects from users, but said it would ask for consent in the case such data collection practices begin. Who are they going to ask for? From kids consent? The biometric data collection details were introduced in the newly added section. Image and audio information found under the heading of information we collect automatically in the policy. So this is the part of TikTok's privacy policy that lists the types of data the app gathers from users, which was already fairly extensive. And I'll bet you that no parents, well, I can't say no parents, but probably 99.999% of parents don't know that their kids are giving that information or gave up that information when they use TikTok. All I can say is Trump was probably correct.
Oh, yeah. Well, the exposure there, plus
yeah.
Now I read something about them. Was it TikTok just collecting biometrics?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what you were just talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I was reading another related story to TikTok about basically it takes people and dumbs their brains down. Because it's just
a lot of these out there.
To build your brain to work in short segments.
Yeah.
Trying to train it, if that's what you're used to, your attention span is going to be really messed up. You're not going to be able to sit down and study anything. Right? You're not training your brain to look at, like, if you're a person that works on long-term projects, and I'd have to say in the beginning I struggled with this, where if I have enough time to work on something that I need to deliver in a month, I had to train myself to sit down and put in an hour every day to make sure I get it done. I didn't want to wait till the end, which was my typical behavior, was to wait and then just scramble to try to get it done the night before. I had to train myself to be able to be disciplined enough to do it that way. Mm-hmm. But, oh well.
Now, it is going to get harder for, these are people with Android, but I'm sure there's something going on the same with iPhones. For Android apps to track users who opted out of receiving personalized ads. This is coming from the Financial Times. After Google announced changes to how it'll handle the unique device identifiers that allow marketers to track them between apps. Now, here's the part that bothers me, and I'm questioning it. Starting later this year, Google is cutting off access to these advertising IDs after a user opts out and will show developers a string of zeros in its place. In other words, when you opt out of anything today and in the past, they still have a way to get to you. That is absolutely ridiculous.
I know. They'll figure out a way around it. No, it's just...
The news was announced in an email to Play Store developers, and Google has also updated its support page for advertising IDs with the announcement. Google told developers that changes will provide users with more control over their data. I thought I did have it when I said opt out or no, I don't want. I thought that was it. No, it's not it.
You didn't opt out to the original
whatever
EULA that said that we can change this at any time. I'm getting pretty annoyed with certain retailers that I have dealt with in the last few months who are just driving me nuts with even though I've opted out several times to their advertising, I'm still getting, it could take up to 2 weeks for this to take effect.
I know. Why?
What are you talking about?
Right.
Or they just sell it to somebody else on their behalf, because now I've opted out of that service doing it, but now somebody else is doing it. So,
yeah,
they're not winning. They're not winning my business. Put it this way.
Absolutely not.
Did you see? I know we're almost done, but did you see the story that was all over Twitter yesterday about how
I don't choose Twitter anymore?
No, I don't. I find it somewhere else. Right? There's a site called Twitchy, which reports on things that go viral on Twitter. You don't have to look at Twitter. You don't even have to have Twitter. You just go there and they show you what happened. So the Trump derangement syndrome in full force, where Trump gave a speech yesterday in North Carolina at the GOP convention, and people were convinced that he had his pants on backwards. Look at this. I can't unsee this. Trump's pants are on backwards. And they went through this whole thing about it. Oh my gosh, can't be shared enough. Donald Trump gave a big speech today with his pants on backwards. Look close and tell me I'm wrong. On and back and forth. Oh my God, yeah, he's in there. Blah, 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 blah. And then somebody comes by later and says, well, I hate to do this, but I think the backwards pants conclusion is wrong. It's an artifact of some video thing. And they were wrong. But they went off into outer space about this. Oh my God, what a doofus. He wore his pants backwards. It's like, oh.
Well,
it happens on both sides. I understand that.
Yeah.
People will latch on to anything they can.
Absolutely.
But just to, it was just crazy.
Anybody who would believe that any public figure is going to get up there with pants backwards. I mean, they think that he's in his hotel room or in his plane and he puts it backwards and nobody's checking to see what's going on.
To keep the crease in place?
I mean.
I know. Well.
Amazing. But we're not important. It's the people that I don't want to get into this.
No, I just thought it was. Yeah. I mentioned it because of because it was Twitter, not so much because it was him.
Yeah,
but it's just an example of all the things that happen on Twitter in both directions.
I keep getting emails from Twitter. We miss you. Please comment on this tweet. Look at this. And it's just delete. I don't understand.
The only time I ever go to Twitter is when I'm on one of the forums that I'm on, and somebody mentions a tweet that is compelling enough for me to actually go look at it.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. Nothing can compel me.
No, but it's not very often. Maybe every couple of weeks I'll find something that makes me want to go look at it. But this Twitchy site does a really good job of just putting this stuff up there with just copying the actual graphics of the tweets. So you don't have to look at it.
Yeah. So. If it's on Twitter, it's not important. It's not important. So Alan Fox is talking about low cast. And low cost.
Lowcast, yeah, that's a streaming service, free streaming service,
and it's available in our area now. That's what he says.
I believe so. Yeah, I tried it, and just what was a long time ago, but I haven't continued to use it. It's a good alternative, but I haven't used it recently, so. The only thing I subscribe to now.
He does say low cast with an A, yeah. What?
The only thing I subscribe to now is we have access, of course, to Amazon Prime Video.
Right.
We have access to Netflix and access to Hulu. And everything else I have, and I do pay for Philo TV.
Why?
Because that has channels like discovery, history, things that I can't get anywhere else, and it's reasonable. It's like I can't remember what I pay.
And you're watching those channels.
I'm watching those channels.
Okay. All right.
Yes, and it has a built-in cloud DVR, and like there are some Alaska reality shows I like to watch. I find them there.
Yeah.
And Pam has a couple of channels that she watches.
So how much is it a month?
I don't remember. I'll tell you.
Roughly. Come on.
I think it's either $20 or $30 a month.
Okay.
I remember.
So,
and I also have subscriptions to all the other free ones. IMDb TV. There's another one that sounds just like Philo. I can't remember the name of it.
I'll go and just look at that Lowcast. I mean, it's fine. I mean, we don't pay for anything as far as subscriptions to content.
Philo apparently has more bundles now. They used to have just one, and now you can buy even skinnier bundles for smaller.
So I'm going to
like
look
a la carte.
What
is here? I'm trying to find out. Is this the actual Philo? No, this is not. This is the cord cutting site, so that's not good. I wasn't actually at Philo's webpage.
Fubo. He's saying Fubo.
Yeah, that, and there's also another one that's like Play-Doh, not Philo. I can't remember. Pluto. You're right, Pluto TV.
No,
that's another.
No, he said Fubo, Fubo.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what that means, right? That's like FUBAR.
FUBAR. Okay.
But
that costs.
You have to pay for that one?
Yeah, they said you can try it free. I mean,
it's $20 a month on Philo.
Yeah.
$19.95 plus a few taxes. But they have like AMC, Do It Yourself, FYI, Food Channel, TLC, History, HGTV, Hallmark, things that we'd actually watch. So
okay, all right, that's fine. No, I mean, if you really watch, it's a different story. There were a lot of things that we used to quote unquote watch, and when we cut the cord, and they're not available anymore, it's like it went. Okay, what? Yeah. I don't remember. What was it? What? So I don't have Sci-Fi Channel, so no big deal. I don't miss it anymore. Discovered Comet. Yeah, it is time to quit. Thanks, Mr. C. All right. Anything else, Spence?
No, I think we have spread enough confusion for today.
All right. Well, thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
It was fun. Next week, Nick may be with us live here in the studio.
Oh.
So we'll see. Okay. So again, thanks, fans. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie and Dana, Dina, Arlington, Micha, Eleanor, Sarid. Thanks, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive and update your virus scanner. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. And remember, Nick is on the radio Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. at WAAV. You can listen to it on TuneIn, on your Echo device. It's 980 The Wave. And Tuesday at 7 p.m., Nick and Brian do the Infection podcast for Survival Game on Twitch. See you next week.
tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.